Hi, my name is Jui Chiu, and I currently work for the City of Phoenix, a Public Works Department. Today I will be talking more about self-defense, how you can protect yourself. And most of the self-defense that I taught in the Valley has been to teach our community how to be safe. And a lot of times, we just don't know how to be safe. And because we don't have any knowledge and skills how to do those things. But today I'm going to talk about what things you should look for. Like the first thing we should look for is situational awareness. Situational awareness, how to avoid the danger areas. Most of the time I encourage people to find a buddy. If you're walking home, have somebody go with you. And in that case, that will assure you that if you travel in pairs, likelihood somebody won't try to do something to you. If you don't have a buddy, always let somebody know that, hey, I'm going home now, or I'm going to go to the store. Always make sure that somebody knows your whereabouts, and that's how you could assure your situational awareness. The second thing is talk about the physical self-defense skills that you can do in case somebody attacks you. So, for example, if somebody's tried to grab your arm or try to grab your throat or try to choke you or bear hugs you and try to take you away from your loved one, what I try to tell them is that first thing, to be calm. Most of the time we're scared, of course, but we want to assure you that, if you're calm and you start thinking more logically, you're able to process and to be able to defend against an attacker. If somebody's trying to grab you, there's nothing wrong to yell help. There's also nothing wrong is that if you can't get out of a situation and somebody's much stronger, there's things that I teach that you can apply that it can have that person release from you. If a person is grabbing you by the arm, there's nothing wrong of you using your arm or your hand to strike the person in the throat, because a lot of times that makes that person kind of release. In addition, if somebody's choking you, same thing. If you can go and strike a person right in the throat, that situation, it can also make a person release. The bear hug is also another thing, is that if the person is grabbing you by a bear hug, trying to just drop all your weight to the ground, so it'll be much harder for a person to really try to grab you, because if you're on the ground, they have to come to you. The third thing I will tell you is that if somebody is getting closer to you, and there's nothing wrong to tell somebody, stop, put your hand up, stop, you're getting too close, what do you need, and create that space. If you feel that the person is getting closer and they're not listening, there is nothing wrong to run and get help. Because a lot of times we kind of tend to stop and try to rationalize to see what that person is going to do next. There is nothing wrong to say stop. If they don't stop and they keep coming towards you, run and get help. There's nothing wrong to call the police or tell your parents, or also tell your neighbors. Anybody that can reach out and help you. Okay, we're back. So let's go back about the situational awareness. Situational awareness is key important part of becoming safe. So when you're walking down the street or you're going home from school, you have to remember that knowing your area where you always go home to, such as never take the alley, never walk a not lit place. You always know that you have a buddy with you. Those are the things that will keep you safe, because if you take a different route and not sure of where you're going, that could be a situation where you can be attacked. So keep in mind that situational awareness is always know that there is visibility. There's a lot of people around that could see you in case something happened. Most of the times that we see people getting attacked is when no one's around. When no one's around and an opportunity comes, when somebody see a person, that's the opportunity they will take to grab you and to take you away from from your parents. So it is important that you keep in mind that when you're walking home from school, that you have a buddy system, that you also know that, hey, I always take this route because this is the safest route. Talk to your parents. Let them know that, hey, I don't feel safe because somebody has been watching me, because I seen a car driving around and they were looking at me. Let them know. It is important that you communicate with your parents that I don't feel safe. Maybe they could take you to school. So those are the things that is important, that you have to have a communication with your parents to making sure they're aware that you feel unsafe. The second thing that we talked about is the physical self-defense. I'm gonna show you a little bit of what I've been talking about, how you can protect yourself from a person grabbing you by your arm, choking you, or even bear hug you. What those things that you can do to get out of that situation. So I'm gonna have Emily come up here and making sure that I'm gonna demonstrate what I'm about to show you. So we're talking about arm grab. A lot of times if you're approached by somebody and they grab you by the arm and they're much bigger and stronger, how do you get away from a situation when that person is pulling you? What I'm going to teach you is very simple. If a person is grabbing you by the arm and you tell them, let go, and they don't let go, it is important. Remember, they have a grip on you and they're much stronger. But what you could do, something quick and fast, is that we learned this in martial arts. It's like a karate chop. A karate chop into a person's throat is much quicker, because right now he can or she can defend against my karate chop through her throat, and this will make that person release. It's so easy because you could just follow the trail right here in the arm, because her hand is grabbing my arm and she's not going to let go. But the good thing is that she can defend against my karate chop to her throat. So if she's pulling me and she's not letting go, you just take this and just go straight to her throat. You just chop her right into her throat. That will make that person release. Because a lot of times if you go force by force, you won't be able to, because that person's stronger. Okay? Same thing. If a person come and choke you, they're choking. Remember, it only takes a few seconds to choke somebody out. But what you need to do is really quick. Somebody's choking, of course your hand's gonna come up here, but that's okay. You put your hand right here and you hold that person's hand so they don't let go. And you have to do it really quick, because it only takes a few seconds to choke you out. This hand right here is very important. The same thing, a karate chop. You just follow this and you just hit the person right in the throat. And that's all you need to do for that person to release. No matter if they're grabbing you one hand or two hands, you just grab both of them or trap both of them. You just slap, hit them right in the throat. It's just a little tap. It will cause that person to choke and they will release. It's a very simple concept. The third thing is the bear hug. How do you get out from a bear hug? So if a person grabs you from behind like a bear hug and they don't release, but like I said, you could drop to the ground all your weight, and a lot of times they don't have the grip, and you could just go all the way down and just sit on the ground. But a lot of times if they got a hold of you and you can't, you still have your arms. You could turn and hit them to the side, because if you hit a person to the side with an open slap, they usually will create a force, will hit them in their place where they feel a shock. So if they grab you by the bear hug, they don't let go, you just turn to the side and just slap them. really hard and drop to the ground, and that will make that person release. And you have to create these things right away. You don't let that person just grab you so they got a hold of you. As soon as you feel somebody grabbing you, you react. You react, drop to the ground, and you slap them to the side, okay? And those are the things that you gotta keep in mind. Do the things that you could get away. And so the last thing I'm gonna talk about is when somebody's approaching you. When somebody's approaching you and you don't know that person, there is nothing wrong of telling that person, stop, what do you need? And if that person doesn't stop, now you know that the person is about to do something to you because that person is getting closer or invading your space. What it is important to do is that if you feel unsafe, run. Run, call for help, because your chances are staying around and trying to understand what that person wants. If that person didn't listen to you from the beginning when you told them to stop, they're not going to listen to you when you're about to getting attacked. So when you feel unsafe and you already told that person to stop and you put your hand up and they're getting closer, run and get help. Call the police, tell your parents, tell your neighbors. If you could run to your neighbor's house and let them know that it's so important that somebody's following me. I told that person to stop. Call the police if you have a cell phone that your parents giving you. Call the police and tell the police, I'm over here, somebody's chasing me. It is so important that if you're aware of these things and not be afraid, you can pretty much get out of a situation. So to end, you have to remember that if you're going to be out and about, always remember, look around, be aware of your surrounding. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll be able to take one of my classes soon. Take care.